Liz starts off this hour in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hi, Liz. How are you?
I'm good, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Thanks for taking my call. So I am based in North Carolina, and I make $43,000 a year. I'm on baby step two, paying off debt. I just cut up my first credit card, which was a whirlwind, but got through that. And now I have $20,000 in debt and student loans to the government. And I had two questions kind of revolving that. One, should I wait to pay it off wait for it to get forgiven, or should I start paying it off now? And the second one kind of comes in with that. My dad passed a few years ago and left an inheritance. I have literally the exact change amount to pay that off. I've been hesitant to do that because I kind of want to feel my own pain of my own stupid decision, but I also don't want to put that money towards my loans. I'd rather do something more important with it. So, yeah, that's my kind of question.
Cool. Is that your only debt? $20,000 of student loans?
Yes.
I thought you said you cut up a credit card. No debt on it?
Yes. Yeah, no, I always paid off my limit, but George Kim will help me figure out. I need to cut it up.
I did. Look at that. Who
Yeah.
knew, Dave? That's awesome to hear, Liz. So if this is the
Yeah,
only
I was
debt, and you said
hesitant.
the inheritance is to the penny the amount. Now, I
Yes.
don't know what your faith background is. You know, you can call it a coincidence, but that just seems pretty happenstance that the inheritance
Yeah,
matches
it
up to
is.
your debt.
It is, and I've thought a lot about it, and it just, and my dad was very financially. I mean, he came over from Venezuela, and he had a very difficult life providing for himself and the family. So he
Wow.
was on track, like trying to do.
Yeah.
He didn't agree with Dave altogether, but I started on the Dave train a little while ago. But he really wanted me to own a home and really wanted me to get like financially supporting myself. So I don't know if I'm crazy for using that money, or if I'm like, I also don't want to not feel the pain of my own decision.
Yeah. Um, uh, um, your dad, I'm going to guess, was a person of great integrity.
Yes. Yeah, he was.
And so you paying off a loan that you signed your name to and borrowed, even if it later might be paid off by the government, is an act of integrity that I think he would be proud of.
Yeah, no, I
And
think it's funny that you use that word.
I think if you used your inheritance for that, I don't think he would call you stupid, and neither would I. And I don't think you have to get 30 lashes on your back just to prove that you learned a lesson. I think you've learned your lesson. I hope you've learned your lesson. Are you going to go borrow money again?
No.
Okay. If you're
No,
if you're
no.
through, then you're through, right? And so, let's use this and get cleaned up, and then build your emergency fund, and then let's start building wealth so that you can leave it to your heirs and have the same kind of legacy that your dad had.
No, yeah. I was at dinner with my family the other night, and I told them this plan of paying it off, and they all looked at me like I was crazy, and they ripped me to shreds. And I said, no, but this is about integrity. So I thank you for your advice.
Yeah, yeah. I think one of the things I always think about when someone asks me what they should do with an inheritance that they got is I always think about the person that left the inheritance and what would make them smile from heaven. And I don't think you paying off your debts now that you've learned your lesson, and you living a financially responsible life going forward, regardless of if some half-butt family member ripped you to shreds or not. Um, you know, I'm just going to pay off a debt that I actually owe and not wait on welfare.
Hmm.
And I got a feeling your dad's smiling about that. And so, and here's the other thing: 5 years from today, if you live forward, following the Ramsey process, continuing in the baby steps, you're going to have substantial money. And 5 years from today, are you going to look back if the debts are forgiven by the government later? Are you going to look back and feel like you did something wrong? No, you're not. So you're not going to have regret long term from having done the right thing. even if it has a little bit of pain to it, and even if stupid people disagree with you. Stupid people disagree with you all the time when it comes to money. That's why we call them stupid people.
They don't get a vote. You're not taking a poll. And so you raised the question earlier, Liz, of what if there's more important things I should be doing with this money? And I can think of nothing more important than setting yourself free financially from this debt that's been hanging over your neck.
And if they forgive, if the Biden administration gets it through the courts and next week they come out and forgive it, which they're not going to, but I personally wouldn't have any regret because I signed up for this trip and I took the trip. You know,
This decision is taking up too much mental space when it could be free right now.
too many calories.